Good day, viewers and listeners. You're welcome to TRYBE Podcast on Redeem Africa. TRYBE is an informative, non-denominational Christian podcast that focuses on discussing issues such as Christian doctrine, marriage and relationships, godly parenting, gospel music, and many other issues. I am Rev J, and I'll be your host for today. Now, before I invite or welcome our guests for this podcast session, I want you to know that you can follow us on our social media handles on Facebook and TikTok at Truth Tribe Podcast, on Instagram at Truth Tribe 22. You can also send us an email at truthtribe22@gmail.com. Now to our guests. Mr. Ofiebo Gift, otherwise known as Liquid Mix, is a premier producer, mixing and mastering engineer. He has worked with several Afrobeat artists like Rema, Peruzzi, Alpha P, Tenny, Flavor, Ice Prince, and many others. He has bagged several awards as recognition for his contributions in the Afrobeat music community. He is currently signed to Optic Music Publishing. He manages and promotes artists. He plays the bass guitar, piano, and lead guitar. He released an EP in 2020, Regalo, with talented artists, and it was well received. Mr. Gift has a bachelor's degree in accounting and finance from the prestigious Covenant University and a master's degree in business administration from the great University of Benin. Mr. Gift is the CEO of Redeem Africa. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You are here in two capacities. You are here both as our host and as our guest. As the CEO of Redeem Africa, you are our host. And today you are our guest on Truth Tribe Podcast. Today we are going to be looking at the topic gospel music ministers and the music business or the music industry. Now, I don't know, those two, do they converge at any point? Gospel music ministry and gospel or music industry. Do they converge?
Okay, when you say music industry, I think you have to break it down. When you refer to industry, you refer to market, you refer to business.
Yeah.
So let the word industry not fool us.
Yeah.
There's no way you do music, whether you're doing it as administration, a gospel angle, or a secular, that is not business. As long as you upload those songs to streaming platforms and you get paid for each streams that you get, is business. There's no two way about it. There's no top gospel artists that their songs are not in streaming platforms like iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, YouTube, and they're making tons and a lot of money. So we cannot separate it actually. We just call it music business. So let's break down industry to music market or music business.
Great.
Yes, it's a must. They are together.
Amazing. So, what would you say is the difference between a gospel minister and a gospel artist? Somebody calls himself an artist or herself. What's the
Difference between a gospel minister,
yes,
and a gospel artist? Both of them are ministering.
Great.
Okay. So I think that is based on personal conviction of what you are doing.
Okay.
But in a secular sense, well, all of them are both artists.
Yeah.
They are both talented. They are both creatives.
Great. I asked that question because, you hear people say things like, if you want to do music ministry, face the music ministry. If you want to be in the music industry, face the industry. Is it possible for one to do both?
Like you asked me before, music ministry. The difference for me is your conviction. Like you are a Christian and you do gospel music. That's just the difference. But when you say industry, all of us are in the industry.
Okay.
Both the secular artists and the gospel artists who are in the industry.
Okay.
So there's nothing like if you want to do ministry, if you want to do. As long as your song is being uploaded for us to stream, and you get paid.
Mm.
I mean, that's money is not a sin.
Of course.
Money is a sin. I'm making it look so spiritual. No, they are in the industry together. You are being paid, I'm being paid. That's it for me.
Amazing. Okay. There's this. I want you to give us an insight into the record label thingy. How does it work? Is it possible for a music artist to be standalone on your own, or can you make it on your own, or must you be signed to a record label? And what's this record label? What's it all about? Just give us
All right. So for artists, there's nothing wrong doing things on your own if you have the resources.
Great.
And you have a team to work with you.
Great.
All right. But what label does is to bridge the gap. Okay. On a normal day, finance and teamwork is the major constraint to making it in industry. So that's where label come in to help you sort out the major constraints and allow you to explore more and fly with your talent. So for me, there's actually nothing wrong in signing under labels. Just that at this point in time, labels are now becoming scapegoats because artists see labels as a shortcut. When they get what they want, they run. If not, why did you join in the first place? Or why were you accepted in the first place? Number one, you had talent. Talent is not enough. So trying to help you create a team around you, create media around you, then sponsor those projects that you could not normally use your low income to do.
Okay.
So there's both advantages and disadvantages to both, but most of the time is the constraints that the labels are trying to help the artist with, so that they can focus on doing the main thing, which is singing and writing songs and performing.
Okay. That's insightful. Now for upcoming artists who would like to sign up with a record label, what are some of the things that they should look out for before signing, before putting pen to paper?
I mean, it's only in Africa that will make signing contracts as a big deal. In a normal business world, before they even give you a road construction to do, you sign a contract. When it comes to music, you're making it a big deal. Before a contract is presented to you, it must have been discussed.
Sure.
So after the discussion, all you look out for is what we discussed. Is it what is in the paper? I think that's the basic thing that you look out for. Then you give it to your lawyer to read and preview in case there are big English that you don't understand.
Yeah.
But basically, what was discussed with the artist is what will be in the paper. You get. So when you say things that you look out for, all those, no, I believe that before the paper came, you and the management must have discussed the issues, the terms.
Yeah.
You understand? So for me, I don't think we're making it a lot of big deal now based on many issues happening, but it's a very simple something. Anybody that's not willing to sign a deal is not willing to do business, because in a developed world, you need to sign something so that if you don't fulfill your own responsibility, you can be held accountable.
True.
So now I think people want to escape accountability. Let us talk, let us just do it. I don't want to sign. They are not ready to do business, except what you are signing is different from what was discussed. That's where we say, okay, there are issues.
Okay, that's insightful, very insightful. Now, there's a development. There's an observation in the music, industry, or in the music business. You find out that let's focus on the gospel singers or artists. You find out that most of these big time gospel artists, they are having their own, when I say record label, I know about Rocks Nation for Tim Godfrey. I know about Spotlight, Moses Bliss. Do you see this as a good development for the music industry?
I think basically I've answered like let's say 60% of that, the question asking me in the previous question you asked. For me, I think labels are being victimized here because you are talking about Moses Bliss. They were under an umbrella called Love World stuff before.
Yeah, yeah.
You talk about all these people, they were under persons that actually invested in them. So since it's a contract, after your year, after your the years in the contract is over, you are free to do your own thing.
Okay.
You understand? But that does not discourage somebody that wants to sign to also grow like you. Because you discover that most of them now open their own label and still sign other artists under them.
Yeah.
And so they know what they are doing now. So it's not like a development, it's a natural phenomenon. Once you work like 2-3 years, you feel like when the contract is over, most of them don't want to renew. They've already gotten the fame. And it's unfortunate that sometimes maybe it's in the third year that the artist now blew up. And the label has been spending since. So they will now be like, okay, since this is the time you just add 1 year or add 2 years so that we can recoup, and they'll tell you no. They'll tell you no, I want to do my own thing. But since it was in the agreement, you can always, after that year signed, you can always say I'm not doing it again. And nobody will understand. But when you say whether it's a welcome development, no small artist without finance, you cannot even shoot your videos, you cannot do anything, you just wake up and say I want to be on my own. How many years will you survive? You cannot even shoot content, nothing.
Yeah.
So I feel that most of these people you have called, they actually had one push or the other. And now they have the resources, they can do it on their own. But if someone that is talented and is spotted by somebody, I think you should allow that person at least handle 3 years of your time to get you out there. And if after that 3 years you say, I want to do it on my own, no issue.
Yeah. Okay, can we look at it from this angle? Most owners of record labels, they are strictly businessmen. They are not. Some of them are not singers. Now, having singers, music ministers themselves, gospel music ministers, having their own record label, don't you think it's a positive development for the gospel? I'm zeroing on the gospel music.
I understand.
Yes.
But you have to see, understand that the reason why they are doing the label is not because it's adding so much to the gospel in quote. They are still doing business.
It's all business.
They are still doing business.
Okay.
Because this person that doesn't know how to sing and deems it fit to sign a gospel artist means that the person still wants to further the gospel in his own way. In his own way, you get. So whether the artist is the owner of the label, we're all doing the same thing. So I don't think as the gospel artist having your own label is now one big plus to the industry, because the person that doesn't know how to sing, that say, this guy knows how to sing, let me put 2 billion ahead. The person is also pushing the gospel. You get. So they are all doing the same thing, but we all want to use English to package it in different ways. They are all doing the same thing. We're all going to our dashboard to check our streams.
Interesting. Because that's the end of the whole matter. That's all right. Okay. There was this, I think it's still ongoing, between a very popular gospel artist in Nigeria, Mercy Chinwo, and her record label. Now we're not really going to discuss much about what went down, who is at fault and who is not at fault. We just want to try to enlighten our audience, the music ministers, on how to navigate around these things. So one of the allegations from Easy T Concept was that Mercy Chinwo went for events, unbeknownst to the record labels, and the proceeds from such events were diverted to other accounts that were not recognized by the label. Now, my question is this characteristic of record label? Is it that they must have a say in where you go, events you perform? Do they have that kind of control? They micromanage you? Just enlighten us.
All right. So when we talk about contracts, it's all about agreements.
Okay.
When there's an agreement, I think you have to stick with the agreement. When the Bible says two will agree,
to work together, so they agree.
Yes, they will agree to work together.
Yeah.
So if there was a standing agreement that the label receives the call and the label takes the booking, that means on our part there's a wrongdoing there. There's a breach there.
Yeah.
But if there's a liberty for her to accept the bookings, then later send the, people call it honorarium, or send the proceeds to the label, and she does not do so, it's still a breach. The reason why there must be accountability is because these contracts are based on percentages.
Right.
All right. So most of the time, for performance, it's based on net. For streaming, it's based on gross. So when you say net, this person is going for events. She's going with her crew, with her band, and all those things. So it's after those expenses have been settled, then there'll be a split in the proceed.
Yeah.
That's in the revenue.
Yeah.
So if there's no proper accountability, meaning that, someone will be cheating one person.
That'll be foul play someone.
Yes. So for him to say, this thing was not credited to us, or we don't have proper understanding of this event that you went to, and there was a pre-agreement that it should be done like this, that means someone is greedy.
Even to the point of who you collaborate with.
No, I think in that aspect, you see, there are so many complications or complexity that happens in this labor of a team. For instance, you have a track and the label, and you bring a proposal. Okay, let's feature this person, and the label will be like, okay, what would this person add to this song? Because you have to be like you have to be synergized.
Yeah.
Let me give an example. You can't be up there with like 200, 300k monthly listeners. You are featuring somebody that has just 10 or 20 listeners. Meaning that you are the one trying to help this person.
Yeah.
So if the label feels like, well, this other management spoke to us, let's work. You can say, okay, let's. But if you are up there and you want somebody up there, there must be an agreement. The person up there too knows that this person, that they are working together to create something great. So most things have to be decided in a board meeting. They have to be agreed on. It's not that it's enforced.
Okay.
So I know many things are making it look like those things are enforced. No, it's not like that. You bring your ideas. You work. You have a team, obviously. Like, okay, this person I want to feature. This person cannot kill this song. Can we feature this other person? Suggestion. No. So it's not like I wanted to feature this person. And the management said no. Another question you ask: does the management have that resources to feature that person?
Okay.
There are so many questions to be asked.
Yeah.
Understand? So you bring someone that collects money until that person is abroad, and you be like, this is the person I must feature. Like, why you want stress? Why you want to kill the label? And label is not looking at this. So if you feature this person now, what is the financial economic reward for doing this?
True.
Because you're not only thinking of one angle. You're not only thinking of, say, you want to bless people. Because you that say you want to feature this artist, you still have an interior motive of doing so. Let's be frank. So when you are in a board meeting, when you are with your team, it's a discussion. It's not a forceful something. It's always a discussion. It's always a discussion. And I feel artists, you always have the open mind to actually listen to your team. And say, okay, well, for now, we can't go for this person. We can go for this person. Or this person. Sometimes you want to feature that person. The person will say no. The management will not tell you, we reached out to these people and we did not agree on certain terms. And that will be like, I don't believe. I don't believe you don't want to give it to me.
You don't like this person.
You get, so there are so many. It's not just you just someone will just say it and you just feel like, oh, this person is saying it. No, there are many things that go on, and most of the things happen in agreement.
Yeah.
In agreement, when labels are fighting or label artists are fighting, you just get to hear stuff and want to pick sides. But there's other deep. If you look deep, you discover that you cannot just hold these words like that.
Yeah.
This person said I should not feature. What was the reason? After all, this person is going to give us the money as label. Why won't we feature this person? There must be other reasons.
Yeah.
No matter how a businessman hates doing something, as long as that thing is bringing the money, you cannot hate it to that extent that you hate your money. You understand? So that's just it.
Amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much. One more question, Mr. Liquid. Permit me to read this question. It says, Sinach is currently embroiled in a legal battle with a studio engineer who worked on her hit song, Waymaker. The engineer is suing Sinach for 5 billion naira over alleged copyright infringements. The song Waymaker is arguably the most successful song by a Nigerian gospel artist, and it has been translated to over 20 languages around the world. It can be described as a massive global success. Now, the engineer claims that he not only worked on the song, he also created and performed instrumental accompaniments, including piano, strings, synthesizers, your thing, it now, without transferring his performance rights. However, Sinach's team argues that the engineer was paid for his work and has no rights to this song. Now, this is breach of intellectual property rights. Can you enlighten us on how this works with regards to the music industry?
The last part, I had to drink water. Because for someone that big in the industry, you also know the rules.
Yeah.
The rules are clear. They are facts. As long as someone produced a track, it's regarded as a songwriter.
Great.
So arguing that you pay the person is just to get public sympathy for those that don't know the music business. Even if you pay your producer, as long as the producer did not sign a buyout clause, he's entitled to earnings from performances, from royalties, mechanical royalties, and the rest. Why? Because without that producer, the hit you are shouting hit will not be a hit.
Right.
Without that simple violin that he played, or somebody played a bass note or something, that thing might be the only reason why that song is up there. You understand? So you being a singer, you are just part of songwriter. You're just part of songwriter. You're as good as a producer. You understand? According in music terms, you're not any different, because according to the rules, 50-50 split for publishing. And publishing is also known as performance rights. And publishing is also known as writers' rights. So as long as someone plays drum, plays something to that song, that hit song, he's a writer. He's a writer. So even in this case is more delicate, because this person now claims to play almost everything in the song.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that you pay the person. Since you have paid the person what kind of talk is that? I mean, this is the most greedy talk I've heard in a long while. And the producer has a right to put the song down too, because someone that don't understand music business that will take sides in this case, this is just plain daylight robbery. As long as the engineer or the producer did not sign a buyout clause, say take all my rights. As long as that is not done, producer has. Yeah. There's a case my management is working on currently.
Okay.
Person took my instrumental from YouTube, and the song made waves on AudioMac and I think Spotify. And it was very simple. My management wrote to them and told them, how far this song has crossed 500,000 streams.
Wow.
So either you upgrade our lease license agreement, or we take the song down in 5 days. And immediately the management responded back, we will upgrade the license and we'll see to your terms. And there was a discussion, and it's okay, upgrade the license to this license and bring 10% royalties, since we're not billing you so much for the lease license. And there was an agreement. That's how it works.
Everybody goes happy.
That's how it works. So saying that I paid the producer, I mean, when we're playing it now, I said I gave you 200,000, and you're making billions. And you feel like that billion, that hit you are making is not you. It's not you. The violinists that played is part of that billions.
Yeah.
The bassist that played is part of that billions. The person that even came to the room and said no, change Miracle Worker to Waymaker, that person is also be part of some percentage of publishing, it's part of songwriting. In this era where there's digital accountability, everything has to be documented. That's why if you go to, that's why sometimes you see that secular artists, they are more, if you go to maybe Wizkid's album, you can go deep and check songwriters. You discover in a song, you see up to 6 songwriters. You ask yourself, how is this 6? Some people don't understand that they add bassists to songwriters. They add ladies to songwriters. They add someone that was in the room that was having inputs. They add to songwriters.
Everyone giving their credit.
Everyone giving their credits. So it depends on your negotiation. You can take the bulk or give them something. That's just it.
Wow. What a wonderful time we have had with Mr. Liquid.
Thank you.
Very insightful, very informative. My viewers, I want to believe that you have gained one or two things from the wealth of knowledge of a man we call Mr. Liquid, Mr. Gift Ofiebo. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Viewers, that's all for today on Truth Tribe Podcast, powered by Redeem Africa. I want to believe that if you are a gospel artist or a gospel music minister or intending or upcoming artist, you have learned a thing or two from what we have discussed today. Well, till we come your way again on Truth Tribe Podcast, remain blessed and always remember, only the truth sets free. Bye-bye.